Hello, my name is Melody Kardec and I am applying to the Spring 2020 Impact Trip to Nicaragua. I'm really excited to apply and I hope that this video gives you a chance to learn a little bit more about me and why I want to go on this Impact Trip. So to answer the first question, before I get into the first question, I'm currently a senior. I'll be graduating in the summer of 2020, but I do plan to walk early in the spring. I'll be graduating with a degree in Family, Youth, and Community Sciences with a minor in Mass Communication. And I do want to pursue a career in human resources in the future. And I'm planning on getting an internship during the summer that will hopefully turn into a full-time opportunity. So that's kind of like my academic background, but now kind of jumping into the first question of what my experience is with religion and how it's impacted my decision to apply to this trip. I love Jesus, and I've grown a lot in my walk with the Lord this honestly within this past year. I grew up in a Christian home. I've always gone to church. I've always been involved in youth groups and all of these things, but I think my time in college really shifted my relationship with God. When I moved to Gainesville with my family about 13 years ago, and after visiting some churches, we finally found Greenhouse, and we've been at Greenhouse ever since. And the three main things that I've gained from my time at Greenhouse as being and being part of the Greenhouse family has been learning what a disciple is. Learning that it's possible to have a personal relationship with Jesus, and that's ultimately what he wants. And lastly, the importance of community and what that looks like in different stages of life. And so going into college, I really wanted more of the Lord, and I really wanted godly community, and God faithfully answered that prayer. And I just, I joined a microchurch, I joined different campus organizations, and I found my community. But this past year, my junior year, was a hard one. There was just a lot of personal things that were happening in my life, and that was also the year that I decided to go to Haiti with P4H Global. And my experience on the trip was amazing. I felt like the Lord really spoke to me about like my present situation that was happening outside of the trip. I felt like God spoke to me, and he spoke an encouraging word that he saw me where I was, and he kind of re-emphasized that he's with me, and that like he's for me, and he's gonna fight the battle that I was in. And so for me, that was one of the most impactful moments of the trip, because very few people knew what was happening in my personal life at that time, and I was able to share with some members on the trip, but I was able to take that testimonial with me, and I'm able to talk to people about it now. But in that way, in that moment, when I felt like the Lord speak to me and give me that word of encouragement, like that marked me. And I also really enjoyed my experience because I learned about sustainable development. I got to learn more about P4H Global, and it was an awesome experience. I actually first learned about P4H back in high school, and I volunteered with them a while ago, like at an event that they used to put on called Gainesville Connected. And I always told myself, man, when I get to college, I want to go on a trip with them. And I finally was able to do that last semester in Haiti, and now I would like to do that again in Nicaragua. I really want to serve in a greater capacity this time, and I think that now with Nicaragua being an option, and the fact that I speak Spanish and have a similar like culture, being Latina, I think I'm able to kind of put more on the table and offer more, given that I can serve in those types of capacities, whether it's helping people learn Spanish, whether it's translating, whatever it might be. And so I think God's calling me to serve, and I also want to just continue to be part of this movement of sustainable development, this movement of redefining aid. And that's another thing, like getting to the second question. I'm almost done with my time, but I think that the 3 Ps that Cameron talked about at the FET are a perfect example of how we can participate in redefining aid in our day-to-day life. And it's kind of conveying to people that sustainable development and redefining aid is all about partnership, process, and I blanked on the last one, but getting across that it's a powerful process that starts with a partnership. And I think that in my professional life in human resources, when I create programs or create trainings or whatever it might be, having that as a mindset is going to be a game changer for sure. And so I think, learning and participating on what redefining aid looks like is for sure going to impact me and set me apart as an individual and as a professional. And lastly, I'm a little over time, but with the third question, when I felt most out of place. For me, I felt most out of place when I first started at UF because I didn't really have a strong Christian community. And for me, what I learned was best was praying, asking God to provide the people, and kind of putting myself out there to find friends and to find godly community. And in the long run, it worked. And I have friends, I have community that love the Lord and that want to encourage me to go hard after him. So that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.